started working on a project together. It was a thought project that led to a system of bringing an idea into action. What we discovered was that there were two main phases of every project: idea and action. These two phases moved back and forth. Most projects started from the idea phase. Sitting down and realizing a problem, an observation would lead to an idea for a solution. So here, this project had an action orientation in the first place. There wasn't a problem, so to speak. It was to get into action. It is funny thinking of it now. I was the one who was in charge of the action section.
If we can have the balance of this openness,
Yes.
almost like that balance between the creative and the concrete, or the problem space and the project space. So, and if we can capture that that idea, how to move back and forth between this problem and project space.
Mm-hmm.
This creative, expansive, all possibility space to the very actual action. Almost like the rhythm of like the breath or something of,
Mm-hmm.
The inhale and the exhale. So.
And we had talked about the problem space, and then even before that, just having that opening and that creative and that observation space that tied back to just having creative projects with like those really simple prompts of what is good? You know, just that question. What is good? What does that mean? What is important to you? You know, those simple opening, because we know that if you really start that inquiry, that line of inquiry, it takes you to some really interesting places. And then there's like this symbiotic, like this going between, ooh, how exciting. We get to discover something.
It's this space between, like, when do we know when we're moving to one or the other? And in this case, how do I know when I'm ready to move into action?
Right. I think my first instinct would be that once you have explored and feel confident, or at least touched in the different spaces of the idea worlds, that idea space. So if there's different spaces to explore, if those spaces have been explored, and the only way to know more, see, that's the tricky part, is because there is this, I know that sometimes people get stuck in just adding more and more details, but they just need to move into action to know, to actually know, instead of like getting 12 more people's perspectives. You only might need 4. I'm trying to think of what that point is for me, or what that might feel like to be ready for action. I think for me, it feels like I have reached the edge of what I know and what I can know or think about. It feels like when I know I'm waiting too long for action is when I feel like I'm trying to control the outcome. Like I'm trying to control and add so many details and predict when I go into over analysis mode. That's when I think I've found that I need to move. I just need to do the thing. I just need to go. Like I think about the project with Kelly. I just need to go into the classroom and trust what I know and get the feedback and let it happen.
And vice versa. For me, when I know I need to go back into the problem space is when I start feeling resistance in my actions. Whatever I'm trying to do is not being met with a good response. So interesting. I think that's like when I'm starting to get stuck in my thinking and it's getting more complicated than I can understand, means I need to go into action. And when I'm hitting resistance in the actual action, you need to go back and meditate on these things and